Hold on one second. Try to sell the game on this shit and everything. But anyway, man, actually nah. We need that music. Give me a second. Give me that damn music. NFL first episode of Playback Reel. Yeah, we've already started the bullshit in the NFL this week. Week 1, already on some bullshit. Sunday night game, bullshit. 1 p.m. game, bullshit. 1 p.m. game being the Jets and the Steelers, that is. But I knew something was weird about this game because of the fact that they kept Buffalo around in that game. So you think this game is in hand? Got a big, comfortable lead. They can't stop Derrick Henry. Couple fumbles was enough to show me that hey, this shit ain't over with. But really, that Derrick Henry fumble late, I was like, Derrick Henry does not do that. Derrick Henry would not do that. But we know scripted manipulation, blah 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 blah. Yeah, they had to give the Bills a nice send off for their season opener at Orchard Park before they open their new stadium next season. It's gonna be one of the big things. They're gonna have a lot of quote unquote magic. I'm gonna say for the regular season right now, the Buffalo Bills going to playoffs. We'll see how things go. If they run into that light skinned motherfucker in the red jersey, we'll see how that goes. But if they don't, they might have a little bit more magic than usual. You know, Santa Claus might leave them a little something on the way to the playoffs near the end of the season around Christmas time and shit. But yeah, man, what's good? We got Blue Pyrotech in the building, Mike Lens, Blackbird McKnight in the building. Your team put up 6 points. Sit down. HDHQ Direct. That shit sound fake as hell. I ain't gonna lie. But no, he said that Browns game was some bullshit too. I mean, it's the Browns, bro. Be prepared to be disappointed. It's the Browns. That the Browns, man, they are just a clown show. And before you know it, they gonna inject that Shedeur Sanders starting into the conversation. Excuse me. If it ain't already established, the Browns do not fuck with him. They look at him as merely what he is, like a show pony for real. They look at him as somebody, hey, people like to buy you jerseys. People gonna root for you. Say push Shedeur in. And Joe Flacco probably gonna play most of the season unless there's an injury or he stinks it up at some point. Then it's gonna be Dylan Gabriel. Then Shedeur. They might flip it, who knows? But I'd say Dylan Gabriel gets the nod before Shedeur does. To answer your question, Blue Pyrotech. Do I think they're gonna have the Bills go all the way this year? They could possibly make the Super Bowl, but as far as winning it, like I said, I ain't that damn sold on the Bills to be talking about winning the Super Bowl. I know they got the new stadium and all the other shit people been saying for the last 2-3 years, but I'm not 100% sold. I need to see more than regular season. They're one of them teams that regular season don't mean shit to me at this point. Baltimore Ravens, as long as Lamar Jackson quarterback, regular season don't mean shit to me. Like usually this is what they do. They gon' if they do drop a game early, it's usually to a good team like the Chiefs last year in week 1, Isaiah Likely's foot being out of bounds. And they'll play down to some competition in the first 4 weeks, especially to teams that you know they should have blew out. And then about week 5, they get on that hot streak and win a bunch of games. Buffalo Bills, kind of the same story. They tend to do the same thing as well. They'll get a big win early in the season like they did last night. Drop one to somebody, it's like they shouldn't have lost to them. What the hell is going on? And then they go on a little hot streak, get at least 11 wins like they've been doing for the last 6 years, I believe. So both teams should be in the playoffs, and I would not be surprised if they want to run this shit back again. Run this matchup back again like they did with the Chiefs and the Bills. And they've kind of been doing with the Bills and the Ravens as well. He said he had fun at the game yesterday. Yeah, Blackbird went to the Commies game. Even though we got embarrassed again, I was talking shit to Commanders fans before the game. Couldn't really say much during the game. It is cool that like it's a home game for you in the sense of like, I guess, proximity. But at the same time, you get to see your team even if they're the away team. John said he's tripping on all these early division games so early. Those are the ones that end up playing a bigger role later on in the season, is these like early divisional games that you might not even think about, like the Tampa Bay Atlanta game. That's gonna come back around week 13 or later than that. So just keep that in mind. Shit, they might split. I think we talked about that on the Pick'em show. And if you haven't done so, hit that damn like button. Smash that motherfucking like button. I'm using what little bit of my voice I got left from this past weekend to do this. But yeah, you say you honestly expect the Falcons to win against the Buccaneers. Same. I thought so too. Ronan Joe said, what did I make of Dak Prescott getting spat on? Was that scripted to me? Because ain't no way he stood there not beating dude's ass. If he tried to fight, he would have got his shit rocked. I'm going to just start with that. But no, that was definitely part of the script. That was part of the script. There's like numbers behind it and everything. I'm not finna dissect a nigga getting spat on like that for numbers. That's just fucking stupid. But anyway, in the Ravens, you could tell something was up by their facial expressions and body language. Yes, they kept showing Derrick Henry. They kept showing Lamar Jackson. And things didn't seem right. Even when things was going right, things didn't seem right. I mean, your quarterback punching a fan. Fan was out of line, but... Or pushing, excuse me, not punching. Said, am I going to review him? Yes. When that shit dropped, yes. That's probably the next highly anticipated movie on my list as far as like things to see. I got some more movies I got to see, but that one is very high on that list. Because I really want to see how far are they going to go with this. With him, what are they going to show? Because it seemed like they pretty wide open with it. Pause. As far as what they going to show. They already got dudes covered in blood, showing goat hairs, axes, pentagrams, other demonic symbols and stuff, emphasizing sacrifice and all the shit. I really want to know how far they go with this shit. Blue Power Tech said the Falcons kicker needs to be replaced. Hey, a lot of Atlanta fans are saying that. They saying that. They've been saying that shit for a few years now. They're like, how you missing a dome? How you missing the kick in the dome? They probably stopped eating egg rolls in Atlanta after that shit. So you expect the Chiefs to repeat how they did in 2021 besides the AFC Championship game, especially the struggling part. Which honestly, they've been struggling for the past couple of years in the regular season. Even last year when they was winning all them games, everybody, even the average fan, was like, something ain't right. They should have lost this game. They should have lost that game. They really should have lost this. You know what I'm saying? So expect to see that this year, except everything won't fall their way. Dallas said Daniel Jones kind of surprised you and how he played. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised too, and then I woke up and realized, oh wait, it's the Dolphins. I ain't really putting much stock into it because, again, it's the Dolphins. Talk to me when he does this against better teams. The Dolphins need to blow their shit up. Just cut everybody, fire the coaches, start all the way over. If you got Danny Dimes playing like Danny Dimes, he wasn't pennies yesterday. That nigga was Danny Dimes. He earned that nickname yesterday. If you got him playing like that, yeah, y'all need to just blow up that whole goddamn team. Trade everybody. Cut everybody. I don't give a damn about the salary cap. Cut everybody on that sorry ass team. And force them to play in 30-degree weather every fucking week until they toughen up. But yeah, the Dolphins had a good run as the pretenders of the AFC. Yeah, that shit over with, bro. Yeah, they don't. The secondary is depleted as all hell. Did I see the phantom stiff arm on that touchdown run by Derrick Henry and tackle went down like a ton of bricks? I mean, shit, that's Derrick Henry, dog. I don't know what to tell you. The most they're gonna do with somebody like Derrick Henry for real is like do some weak ass tackle attempt. But if he want to stiff arm a nigga, he gonna stiff arm a nigga. Plain and simple. Like he does workouts and drills for stiff arms, like which is crazy to me, but I understand it. That's what he does. Daniel Jones put up more points compared to Russell Wilson. You know what's even sadder about it is seeing how bad the Giants played and then you look over and Daniel Jones was balling out of his mind. That's when you know some shit ain't right. And that's when you know eventually we gonna see Blackson Dart as a starting quarterback for the Giants. Cause they've been doing some real funny ass shit. They done slid James Winston the third string. Then they want to hide but Blackson Dart from the media and James Winston, which is stupid because James Winston is a whole media gym. You better let that nigga talk anytime there's a microphone in front of him. Let him say anything, quote anything. I don't care. Entertainment. But nah, they want to hide him and shit. And it's like we ain't trying to cause controversy, but you causing controversy by trying not to cause controversy. Well, yeah, it's only a matter of time before Jackson Dart plays. They had 2 games weather delayed. It was the Jags and the Eagles, both of those, and then some college football games weather delayed too. I think in Georgia, it is that time of year where that tends to happen, hurricane season and shit. I hate it, I really do, but I understand a lot of safety, and you hear lightning, or see lightning, hear thunder. I understand. Bryce Young still struggling. That's the one. But I was like, damn, bro. What you doing, man? What you doing, Bryce? What's going on here, man? Panthers, I thought they're going to be an improved team. It's still week 1. I'm not going to overreact over any wins and losses and shit like that. And, you know, everybody, oh, it's week 1. So-and-so trash. I'm like, nigga, it's one game. It's one game. Some teams, you can say they sorry as fuck off rip. The Saints, you can say they sorry as fuck. But, Panthers, I really expect them to play a little bit better against Jacksonville. They look like shit. Bryce, he look like he ready to crash out. He look like he going through it. What's my boy name? Xavier Legette. He was doing his thing in the Glorilla music video. You know, all that shit over here, putting thirst traps out there. He can't catch shit. Apparently, he can save somebody from quicksand in a 4-wheeler, but he can't catch shit. Apparently. And he my favorite player on the team, for real. It's a damn shame. He's a country Bashard Perriman at this point. But McMillan, he gonna take that spot as like the wide receiver 1 for real. It's clear as day right now. Like Xavier turn that shit around. Yeah, he cooked. I ain't gonna say cook per se, but yeah, you know, he ain't gonna live up to the hype. Though it was mostly his accent, but he's not finna live up to that hype like that. For Carolina, which to be fair, it's Carolina. Colts was a lock for Jim Irsay's tribute. Absolutely. And here's something I found interesting and infuriating at the same time about that game. Has nothing to do with Jim Irsay per se. Excuse me. But I did not know that his daughter likes to micromanage things the way that she did. Like they say Jerry Jones is bad about being a micromanaging owner and GM and shit. This might take the cake. So Jim Irsay's daughter is wearing a headset and has the play sheet on the sideline like she's a coach. That is way too far. Entirely too far. It's bad enough that you got female coaches in football that have obviously never played professionally. Which, I mean, there's men who haven't either, but still, you get what I'm saying. And now you got helicopter owners who want to have play sheets and had a headset. Like, bro, that's too much. That's way too much oversight. I'm pretty sure them coaches know what they're doing. If they needed to throw some shit, they don't need the owner stepping in like that, being that overly involved. Just sit the fuck back, get your ass in that damn press box, and do this right here. Just do that. Or do this if they lose it. That's it. It's just too much. Bengals was a lock on Paul Brown's birthday. And ironically, they played the Cleveland Browns. So, go figure. That game was just As far as the games I was hyped to see, I didn't expect to see the Jets and the Steelers on there. That was not a game on my bingo card to be like, yeah, I really want to see this. Besides the Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields versus their former teams thing. But if you told me both would have dropped 30, I'd be like, nigga, please. But hey, they did not disappoint, and I get the feeling there's gonna be a lot more Aaron Rodgers related games where we see something like that, where it might be a stinker or a lull to start, and then things pick up late. Because they already talking about he looking way better in this one game than he did his 2 years in New York, which is funny, especially when you look at the New York Jets, because it's like, y'all suck. Not the Jets. Braun said Colts are locked for playoff, nothing more. Like I said, I'm gonna need to see more than just Daniel Jones against the Dolphins, bro. I'm gonna need to see him against some good teams too. See what he do. So Bryce Young should go to the Colts and Richardson to the Panthers. Okay, for as far as Richardson goes, bro, that nigga is cooked. That man is beyond cooked. He's done. Going to the Panthers would do nothing but make the Panthers worse for real. And then Richardson, he be ass, even more ass than he is now. Bryce Young, he probably be in the same position, to be honest. Maybe slightly better, but even then, that ain't really saying much. Say Bryce too damn short. No, it's Bryce don't trust that offensive line. It's not about him being short. Because there was times he sat in the pocket last year. Because that was like the biggest knock. He can't see over the offensive line. How the fuck could he see over the offensive line in Alabama now? It's he don't trust that offensive line. That's all that is. When he was trusting that offensive line in that second half of the year, that's when he was outperforming Patrick Mahomes in games and having them being contenders. But when he out here running for his life and shit, that's when he started doing the dumb shit. This week one game confirmed to you that Aaron Rodgers also scammed the Jets. That's on the Jets, man. That's on the Jets, man. Said Murray had diarrhea. Colts or the Saints have no quarterback. Hell, you got a veteran rookie as your drafted quarterback. Of course you don't have a quarterback. And then Spencer Rattler, he inconsistent. And it looked like they hell bent on putting their own bounty out on Chris Olave. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen this nigga get lit the fuck up during his time in New Orleans. I'm like, do y'all hate this nigga or something? Like, what did he do? Whose girl did he sleep with? That y'all got this man getting lit the fuck up? Did he sleep with somebody associated with Derek Carr? What happened? What's going? Does he have beef with Spencer Rattler? What's going on here, man? But they be lighting that nigga up though. I'm like, damn. So Daniel Jones will play like shit the next game. Watch how many times has this Giants fan seen this. He'll have a good week one week and look like shit. Exactly. Yeah, one game does not sell me on him at all. Oh man, that is stuck in my head. That nothing like a Jet 2 holiday with the little Aussie chick. Oh my god. He threw for 4 TDs once in 18 games with the Jets. And he did it against the Jets. Now, I want to see what he does against the Packers. I'm mad it's not in Lambeau, though. That's the one game I was like, hey, y'all could... Goodell, y'all really fucked up right there. Very simple move right there. Put that game in Lambeau. I know you can't really flex home and away unless there's weather. Y'all should flex this game if you can. Swap out another game and do that shit. And make it prime time. If it ain't already prime time. So the AFC East almost went winless too. That would have been crazy for real, yeah. Patriots, Jets, Dolphins. Which one, Ronan? Which message? Oh, did I see AJ Styles called out WWE during the commercial break before his match? No, I didn't. That's facts. I mean, it's Vegas anyway. They always gonna have that shit. Jam says NFL wants Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. KC versus Philly next week is double coded. Every game is double coded, my guy. Every game. That's nothing new. They cheated Ravens before halftime just to get the Bills 3 points. I would have kept running off the field too. Hell yeah, man. What's up, Negan? What's good with you? The Niners are set for the collapse. They stay hurt. It's a wrap. I didn't really have really high hopes on the Niners really this year anyway, especially with what they lost offensively more so, and they lost some things on defense. But yeah, I wasn't really sold on the Niners like that to just ball out. Maybe stay afloat on that 500, be competitive, of course, keep things interesting. But the Niners teams that we saw whenever we went to they went to the Super Bowl and shit, nah. If they wanted Josh Allen to win Super Bowl, they would have done it by 2022 or 2024. They should. The best year to have done it, the most obvious year they should have done it, was when they had a player down the field. My bad, be unalive on the field and somehow come back with a missing tattoo. That was the best year they should have done it. It don't get no better than that. That's a hell of a story. That's a hell of a fucking story. But nah, she got reduced to a side show on Hard Knocks. Let's see, what game am I not talking about? Rams and Texans. Holy shit, that game was ugly. Terrible game. Terrible game. I remember somebody said in the stream, I think last week, they were talking about how CJ Stroud wasn't that good. It might have been Discord. CJ Stroud wasn't really all that, not elite. Might have been on to something. Maybe. But again, 1 week, I ain't gonna jump the gun on it, but motherfucker might have been on to something. I don't remember who he was who said that, but shout out to you. Packers beat the Lions in Michael Parsons' Green Bay debut. They said he was gonna be questionable. We knew better. That's how they tried to do with Christian McCaffrey. Oh, he's gonna be questionable. How he wasn't hurt going into the week, but then a couple days before, all of a sudden he hurt, but he still ended up playing. So there's no shock there. The Stroud just needs an offensive line. Yeah, he do need an offensive line. I won't disagree with that at all. So you convinced Hamlin is still, damn it. Hamlin is still on the roster due to the incident? Of course. Duh. How many years he been on the team? Of course. What has he done? Seriously, what has he done that warrant a spot like that? In the amount of spotlight. Like, duh. He the sympathy. He's the he the Make-A-Wish kid. Like, come on. You should have known that the moment that nigga came back the next year. The Eagles gonna struggle this year. They look like they did. Hold on. The Eagles gonna struggle this year too. They look like they did in 2023 during their collapse. I think it's a matter of time. They might start off decent, and then somewhere down the line, not really down the line, probably about the halfway point of the season, that's when some shit gonna happen. So also the Lions look like they did in 2021. I ain't surprised. They lost their offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Of course that was gonna happen. Of course that was gonna happen. So I know a lot of people still gonna be high on them, even from last year. Even though they weren't even as high as they were the year before that when they went to the NFC Championship game. Titans lost to Denver. If I ain't say that already, Bo and Cam, neither of them played well. That game was underwhelming to say the least. A late crucial drop fucked the Titans over though. I will say that. That game, the Niners game, the Seahawks games I didn't care for. Raiders, Patriots, statistically is so deceptive. So deceptive. Geno put up 362 yards, 1 tutty, 1 INT. Brock Bowers went crazy. That's a tight end who finna go crazy this year. Pause. Brock Bowers, he did his thing last year. He gonna go crazy this year. Genty, 19 rushes, 38. I'm saying 38 yards and a touchdown. And he already getting featured in commercials and everything now too. I done seen him on at least 2 commercials. And I think one of them was on some WWE shit earlier. I was like, damn. Already one of the highest paid running backs. I hadn't even been in the league for a whole season. Where they do that at? From Boise, where they do that at? So I say they got big plans for him for sure. So you think Standard starts in week 16 or 17? I would say Shedeur would start before that. If they were to start him at some point, yeah, I think it'd be much earlier than that. Either they let him play and then they shut it down for whatever reason, or we just magically hear some bullshit injury right before one of the games. Have people think he gonna play, say he played the first 2 games of a stint. And then you think, okay, that third game he gonna play again. Oh, he got a, like how they did the oblique injury shit. Oh, he got an oblique injury, a non-contact injury. They're gonna do some bullshit. And if he do, I doubt he like balls out and plays out of his mind. I don't see it. So KC either don't make the playoffs or they get knocked out first round. Mahomes, this is in his enemy year. Nigga said his enemy year. The fan that pushed Lamar and D-Hop is banned from the Bills games and other NFL games. Y'all heard about that. That's some crazy shit though. Like, why the hell would you push someone who you know could whoop your ass? You think that barricade, that wall, whatever you want to call it, that's gonna stop somebody? Them niggas got 40-inch verts, bro. And they got pads. That's another thing. Why you gonna put hands on somebody who can whoop your ass, who got pads and shit on too? We seen what Myles Garrett could do with that football helmet. That's insane. That's crazy. The Hamlin story ended with the tats on his back. I feel like he get more sympathy, publicity, all that stuff than Colin Kaepernick. Call me crazy, but it's kind of hard to beat a dude passed on the football field versus a dude who took a knee. I guess over somebody passing, but you get what I'm saying. They pushed the absolute hell out of Damar Hamlin for that shit. It's funny how these great quarterbacks in college football come to the NFL and are all of a sudden play like shit, while the players that were bad in college all of a sudden are great players. A couple things here on this one. If you're good in college, more times than not every time, but more times than not, you're on a better team. So as a result, you go higher in the draft, which means you end up landing on a shittier team. So of course you're not going to be as good because you're not in as good of a position. Bryce Young is a perfectly good example of that. Played at Alabama. It really don't get no better than that. At least then it didn't get no better than that. To Carolina. You thought he was gonna do the same thing at Carolina immediately? Come on. And the game was slightly played different too. Now, as for the players who are on, say, bad teams, and all of a sudden they good, they benefited from a good situation. Might have been some other shit involved too, like maybe someone close to them passed in college, and now it's catching up to them in NFL, and on their side of things in a quote unquote good way, but in the overall more moralistic thing, bad way. So Detroit takes a step back this year. Yes, I agree. The Chiefs versus Eagles again in the Super Bowl just because Andy Reid used to coach the Eagles. They're going to make it like a Lakers and Celtics rivalry. NFL's ridiculous. The Chiefs will win. That shit'll never touch the Lakers and Celtics, dog. If for some crazy ass reason they did do that, it would be more like the Cavs and the Warriors. But they not finna make this no Celtics and Lakers and shit. And the NFL already caught hell last year for the fact that the Chiefs were even in the Super Bowl. And got the heat off their ass after the Eagles won in the way that they did. Everyone was happy about that. Except for them goddamn Swifties. Ronan, this ain't the stream to talk about WWE, my guy. I love your enthusiasm for it, and we're going to, cover a lot of stuff that happened in pro wrestling the last couple of weeks and stuff. But yeah, this ain't the one for that, bro. I ain't trying to talk about WWE right now. I do think at some point, talking about the Cleveland Browns, even though statistically Joe Flacco doing his thing, you know what? He might actually do this for a little bit longer this year where he puts up good numbers despite losing. And then it's going to be like 1 or 2 games where he plays like he did with the Colts. And that's when a nigga going to get benched. So the closest to the Lakers and Celtics in the NFL is the Cowboys and Steelers. You know, I actually agree with you on that one. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Because they always tend to make it maybe not the primetime game, but if they can, they will. But they usually save it for that 4:15, 4:20 kickoff slot if it's a daytime game. I've noticed that. You hardly see that shit at 1 p.m. It's just thrown on there. Nah. Or they might do it on, say, a Christmas. Not Christmas. They get Thanksgiving anyway. You might see that on a Thanksgiving. So do I keep it with the NFL Madden video games like 26? Yeah, I keep it with the fuck shit they do. If that's what you asking. But no, if I'm playing something, it's usually like a modded version of Madden 12 or some older game where it's actually good. Because now it's mostly just animation based. Holmes took 2 teams to the Super Bowl with bad O-line. Stroud hasn't done anything close. There's no compare. Who is comparing Mahomes to CJ Stroud? Oh, I see it. Never mind. Stroud literally cannot play good without an O-line. I mean, look at Mahomes when he has no offensive line. Mahomes does a lot of dumbass shit whenever he running around. And, you were talking about quarterbacks playing bad and stuff. Mahomes is having that Steph Curry effect to quarterbacks. Like, it's not really a good thing. He's making it where it's acceptable to do this bullshit. Like, I'm gonna be parallel to the ground 6 inches from being considered down, and I'm gonna throw it. Like, there's only so many people who could do that and get away with it and actually do it well. But now you see other quarterbacks younger who grow up idolizing this nigga, and they end up doing this dumb shit. You seen the Steph Curry effect in the NBA. This man was pulling up from the logo. Kids saw this shit. It was like, I said, shit, since I can't dunk, at least I can try this pull up from the logo shit. And you see it as a common thing now. It's normal. You got fucking Jared Jackson out here pulling up from the goddamn Memphis logo. But yeah, same shit with NFL quarterbacks. You got niggas doing the no-look pass, even though Mahomes did not start that shit. But you see college players doing it. Some high schoolers trying this stuff. The niggas in 7-on-7. So I would say he is not the quintessential. What's the word I'm looking for? He not the best blueprint for an NFL quarterback, despite his accolades and shit. That's why I say it's kind of crazy when people try to compare other quarterbacks to him. Hell, even Lamar Jackson, that's a straight up outlier. And a lot of teams trying to mimic that. Oh, yeah, he can run fast. Oh, he can juke. Yeah, let's get him. Kyler Murray, they try that shit with him. Even though he is fast, like, yeah, let's try to replicate. That's like, bro, you can't replicate all that. You might be able to replicate the running and shit, but there's only so many Jaden Daniels. There's so many Lamar Jackson. There's a lot of motherfuckers you gonna miss on trying this shit. Indianapolis, try that shit with Anthony Richardson. Look what happened. So when I say I keep up with the fuck shit, does that mean I follow Angry Joe's reviews? I don't even watch Angry Joe's videos on games or Ryan Moody exposing the NFL Madden games. Yeah, the Ryan Moody stuff. Soft Drink TV is probably the best though, because at least he's more objective about it. He can show out some of the positives that Madden does, while also calling out the bullshit that they've been doing or will do. And he had a really good interview breaking down the difference between animation-based and physics-based gameplay with football, which also would apply to basketball games too. But yeah, I'd say Soft Drink TV is still one of my favorite for that. The NFL taking Mahomes out the picture, out the Super Bowl picture for a little while, just how they did Tom Brady. Exactly. And then watch they turn around and give him a few more rings in his mid-30s, just like Brady. I don't know about a few more, but I say he's got maybe one more in him. Bryce Young tried to do the Mahomes passes and threw an interception. See, like, you can't, not everyone can just get away with this shit. Sure, when it works, it looks cool. Yeah, ESPN top 10 highlight. But when it don't, you look like an idiot. Will Levis played like Patrick Mahomes if everything went wrong. Dare I say Shedeur Sanders a little bit. Except he is one of the smartest. I don't know, smartest ain't the best word. He's really good about keeping that completion percentage at a certain percentage, I guess, for lack of a better term. That man will refuse to throw that bitch away. He said, I'm gonna run it out of bounds if I gotta lose 10 yards. And he did it in college. We've been seeing him do it in the pros. In one of these games, he might have to do some Patrick Mahomes shit to sell the game. I think we might get another Harbaugh Super Bowl soon. Jim gets his revenge. Chargers win their first Super Bowl. Okay, or is he getting his revenge against who exactly? Who's this revenge against? Because, you know, he won at Michigan, even though there's the allegation they did the shit. Fuck it, they did it, and they still won. So who is this revenge against? He can't do it against his brother because they're in the same conference. Who? Maybe the Niners because they got rid of him, like, because he had beef with the front office. Like, who? Where is this coming from? And I've mentioned before, the Chargers are like the Clippers, bro. They're not the real LA team in the NFL. That is the Rams. They should be improved for sure, but they are always the Clippers. Kaepernick needs another chance at 36. At 36, man, come on. That nigga got gray in his beard already. Hell no. So they playing gospel songs for Cam Moore. I really hope he does play good this year. I know it's one game against Denver, but I really does hope he lights it up a little bit. Put on some highlight reels, man. So Mahomes stopping the 4 rings, he'll get it before Kansas City Chiefs leave Kansas City, which they lease is up in 2030 at GEHA Field, Arrowhead, whatever you want to call it, because they want to go to Kansas City, Kansas. Same with the Royals too. You know that team that Patrick Mahomes is a part owner of, Kansas City, Kansas. Okay, Negan saying against John. That's calling back to Jim Harbaugh. Ravens beat the Niners. Okay. I guess you mean like on the way to the Super Bowl is what you getting at. Oh, I see it now. Ravens, Chargers AFC Championship game. You can see the Chargers going to the Super Bowl in a couple of seasons. I can't see it. I don't. I can't and don't see it. At least they can say they got a quarterback. At least they can hang their hat on that. Is there a piece of gray hair in my mustache? No. That nigga says they're gray in my mustache. That's crazy. Falcons might make the playoffs this year. I think they will. They done been this close past couple of years, and both times. Not Kansas City, excuse me, Charlotte, Carolina, Panthers, North Carolina, South Carolina. Because technically they ain't considered a North or South Carolina. Has been the thorn in their ass keeping them out of the playoffs. Lamar and Herbert never win a Super Bowl. Do I agree? Dog, I've talked about Lamar not going to a Super Bowl for a while now, dude. For a while now, dude. Herbert never winning the Super Bowl as long as he's in LA, the Chargers, that is. I don't think so. Lamar, don't even ask me about him. I get tired of people asking me that shit. So all 32 teams are making the playoffs. You know what's crazy though is I wouldn't be surprised if at some point, way down the line, they said, you know what, we want to go overboard. We want to go OD with the sports gambling shit. Kind of like that in-season tournament they did with the NBA. Where the NFL did some variation of this bullshit where they had more than 7 for each conference make the playoffs. It'd be a terrible idea, but I could see the NFL trying, experimenting with that shit. See what they did with the kickoffs already. They felt that comfortable. I could see them doing that. Think he can get Chiefs versus Niners in Super Bowl. I'm gonna say in 2027. Oh, that's 62. Okay, 62 again. Another Chiefs and not, man. I don't know. I really don't even want to see another Chiefs and Niners Super Bowl. I don't know about that though. I think the Dodgers gonna win 2028 because of election year. Okay, I'm not even thinking about baseball 3 years out from now. What's good, Tom Marker? What's up with you, man? OG Pontiac in the building. OG Triple OG. What's up? But Emmanuel, I really hope that is not the case. Make it a new team. If it's gonna be them, make it a new team, man. Whole new team. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the Cowboys. That's right. I don't know how I went this far and didn't really talk about the Cowboys. Because I gotta remind you, they not winning the Super Bowl. They not winning the Super Bowl. They not winning the Super Bowl. I'm gonna have to say this shit every single episode. They not winning the Super Bowl. So of course the Eagles end up winning their game against the Cowboys thanks to C-Drop Lamb selling late numerous times. One of them hit him in the breadbasket. Super catchable. Other one, Dak overthrew him a little bit, but it was still catchable. If it was college, I would have put it more on Dak Prescott for that pass. But C-Drops, I've seen C-Drops make catches like this in the past. He knew better than that. And guess what they did late? They didn't have a spy for Jalen Hurts on a crucial 3rd down. You know who would have been a good spy? This dude in Green Bay. That's crazy how that whole thing came full circle right there. And I'm sure that won't be the first time that happens for the Cowboys. It'll probably come full circle when they play each other. The Cowboys and the Packers, that is, in a couple weeks. It's always Dak's fault. Even if he's not playing, it's always Dak's fault. You know that. Every Cowboys fan says that shit. Even if he not playing, it's Dak's fault. NFL gonna switch it up and have two dark horse teams like the Rams versus Bengals Super Bowl. I don't know. What do you consider dark horse though? That's the real question. Who do you consider dark horse? Because it's really too early to consider a lot of teams really dark horse right now. I mean, hell, all these teams play one game. Says multiple times, but you're gonna say it again. Free my guy DJ Moore. Caleb was ruining career. Oh shit. Yeah, DJ Moore's career needs to be studied a little bit. The NFL won't milk the rematches for this season. I know something they can always go back on is big name players against their former team. They love that shit. As far as rematches, I hope we don't get a Bills and Chiefs playoff game. I wouldn't necessarily mind a Bills and Ravens game. I just hate the way that it usually turns out. But I wouldn't mind it, you know? Travis Hunter has a fade now that unlock superpower. Oh shit, nah. I ain't finna touch that one today. I ain't finna touch that one. I'm gonna say it unlocks child support, but nah, I ain't even gonna touch that one. That DJ Moore need to go back to the Panthers. For what? What you can do? Take a XL spot? For what? DJ really need to go to like a playoff team for real, and that's what he need to do. Oh yeah, she going at Blackbird and Caleb. The YNs, nigga. Shout out LeBrie. I'm finna slide up out of here in about 5-10 minutes though. Damn, I didn't realize it was 11:21. Shit. I gotta rewatch Monday Night Raw and everything. But yeah, let me hear y'all's predictions. I know I done heard some of them already, like as far as like Super Bowl and shit like that. Do you have any division predictions? Here's some divisional predictions. Like a team to look out for. I know it's early as hell. It's been 1 week. It might shock some people. I know I've heard the Cardinals in the NFC West. AFC West, I guess you could say the Chargers, but that wouldn't even be a shock, pun intended. AFC North, I don't really know who the shocking team would be. If you want to call it shocking, Pittsburgh, but even then, we know if they do have a good season, we know exactly why. AFC East, pretty straightforward. Should be Buffalo. Should be Buffalo winning that shit. Caleb, you got class tomorrow, my nigga. Oh, I think I done heard of that shit, that cut water. I've never had it, but I done heard of that shit. That Seattle wins the NFC West. Sam Darnold 2 years in a row balling out. It's not. It honestly ain't the craziest thing. Now, as far as Sam Darnold balling out like he did last year, I don't know about that part. But as far as them winning the division, I wouldn't even be really surprised. It wouldn't just be like, oh shit, no. They always in the mix. Even when they got down here, they always in the mix. The ATL wins the NFC South if the coaching staff doesn't do dumb shit. That's a big if, bro. Raheem Morris stay doing some dumbass shit. But the NFC, I do agree with that first half. But boy, they do some stupid ass shit, boy. Unless he one of them lame duck black coaches and it's like, all right, we gotta can him after this year. We gonna get serious. We gonna get a serious coach, an established coach that we done heard of before. It would be funny if this happened. I don't think this is gonna happen, but it'd be funny as hell if Kyle Shanahan became head coach of the Falcons. That would be the funniest shit in the world because everybody in Atlanta would be mad as fuck. That city might riot if they hired Kyle Shanahan as the head coach. And I'd be here for it. Colts won AFC South. Jim Irsay tribute. Okay. Interesting. I swear if this nigga Danny Downs balls out this entire year. This entire fucking year. We need to study this man's career. We need to study the New York Giants. That's what the fuck we need to do. If he did what he did last night or yesterday, again, we need to be studying the New York Giants. What the fuck is going on? What is going on? Everybody that leaves that place seems to do better everywhere else. We need to study this team. Said Young Wei Koo on the chopping block. Bro, he been on the chopping block for a minute in Atlanta. Let's be real. Cause this ain't the first time he done pissed off some Atlanta fans missing some field goals. Like they got to the point now, they mad as hell. They calling this nigga Young Ho. They stopped pronouncing this shit right at all. No egg rolls, no sushi, none of that. That's Young Ho. Till you start making this shit. Brock Bowers is tight end one. Hell yeah, he is. He been the tight end one since goddamn Georgia. Said if Kyle Shanahan became head coach, Trump got every right to deploy the National Guard in Atlanta. Man, shit, boy, that's funny as fuck. Hey, that city really would be on some shit though if they hired Kyle Shanahan to be head coach. I slick hope that happens. I really hope that happens. And they watch them niggas still make the playoffs, and they gonna do some bullshit and loot. They gonna be up by 10. They gonna be up by 10 if it ever did happen. They gonna be up by 10 in the playoffs. And they gonna blow that game. Oh shit, that's funny as hell. I think Jair Alexander bouncing back. That nigga gotta stay healthy. That's baby steps with this nigga. I never thought I'd say that with Jair Alexander. Damn. That nigga gotta stay healthy. Like I said, it's one game. I ain't putting a whole lot of stock in one game. And with the Ravens, did the defense look bad? Yeah, it did look bad. But like, it's one game. Remember last year, that first half of the year, the Ravens defense was porous, terrible. It was Swiss cheese. You could walk through that motherfucker and score. But the second half magically became one of the best defenses. Appreciate it, DJ Warren. That is such a West Coast ass name, bro. Think of Warren G, DJ Pooh, so many niggas on the West Coast. The Giants gonna be elite next year. Blacks and Dark gonna lead them to the Super Bowl next year. See, I like that optimism right there, Caleb. That's what I'm talking about. Nigga Blackson. But they need to get rid of Dable though. Seriously. What's up, Lorenzo? He caught the tail end of this shit, man. You got to watch the replay. Says week 1 of the season, NFL's already on that bullshit, the rigging bullshit. Last night it was the Ravens. Tonight it's the Bears. The Bears. All right, we're going to end it right there. He said Blacks and Daughters, Brady, Manning, Lamar, and A-Rod all in one for real. Hey, man, that's funny as hell. I really do hope he ball out, though, when he do play. I would like to see that. I like shitting on the Giants and stuff, but at some point, y'all niggas need a quarterback. Y'all need a little bit of hope. A little bit of hope. Just a little bit. New head coach. That's the fuck y'all really need though. And I know Blackbird hate that shit, but he'll come around to it. It's okay. You'll come around to it at some point. It might not be the first game. It might not be the second game. By game 3 or 4, he'll come around. You gonna buy you a jersey and everything. It's okay. It's okay. You gonna have a Malik neighbors right here on one side, and then a Jackson Dart on the other side. It's okay. One gonna be blue. I think the Malik one them are blue, and then the Jackson you gonna have a white one. It's okay. It's okay, man. Exactly. He in denial. It's okay. But yeah, man, it's been fun, man, chopping up with y'all tonight. Y'all stay safe, be blessed, all that good stuff, man. We out.